Hello. Hi Susan. Yeah, you're on the right video. Morning Andrew. Morning David. Morning Mimi. More cat exercises. Yeah, I had a haircut yesterday. Finally. Morning David. Okay, so I hope you have a chair and a stool. If you don't have a stool, it's fine. Hi, morning. So we're gonna go through a sequence of stretches and exercises with a chair. So the reason we're doing it with the chair is that the chair makes it easier for us to get into the and it's also useful for people like doing the exercises on the floor. Okay, hi, morning Daphne. So they are useful in that sense. So they help you to be able to keep your posture better when you do the exercises. So you see what I mean when we go through the exercises. Okay, so we're going to pair the stretches with the with some of the movement, and then you'll see kind of like how they relate to each other, right? Okay, so let's wait for 1 more minute and then we start. Now, so some of you have asked like how high or how low this stool needs to be, right? Something like this will do. I mean, like, I think stools, they're all about more or less about the same height. So the reason we're going to use this because some of the stretches, okay, you know, like how some of us, if you're sitting down on the floor and we do this butterfly stretch, right? Like, because sometimes our hips are tight, like we are here, so no matter what you do, you can't get that nice tall posture, right? So when you have a chair and you have this stool, right? So what it does is it accommodates you. So it allows me, so some of us is going to find like it allows us to sit quite nicely into this position, right? See, so you see, like, so especially like Larry, you probably will find this very beneficial for you. Like, it's easier for you to get into this position, like when you're sitting down like this, right? So that's the reason for the stool, for some of the stretches. Or like if you're going to try and stretch your piriformis, right, later, it's like when we're sitting like this and then you're going to try and kind of like turn like this, you're going to find that some of us, like, our hips are really tight and then we kind of flex like this. So if I'm sitting on the chair, okay, now even I can don't put my leg on the stool, I'm going to find it's a lot easier to maintain the position of the spine. Okay, so this is useful to help you to keep that position of the spinal position, right, and to get into the stretch. Because otherwise, some of us are going to struggle with the stretches that we do or the movement we do on the floor. Okay, so let's start. Okay, let me tuck in first so they can see the pelvis position, right? So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to stretch your hip flexors and engage your abdominals. So we are going to only get you to sit, right, with half your buttock on the chair. So it looks like this. Okay? Can you see? Okay, so make sure you make sure your chair is sturdy enough that you don't fall off, right? Now from here, you are going to kind of like sit half the buttock on the chair. I'm going to show you from this angle. And you are going to allow your left leg, right, to go back this way. So it's kind of straight down. Okay? Now in this position, what I want you to feel is to learn to engage your abdominals and your buttocks. So remember the Michael Jackson stretch that we did? Or we talk about Michael Jackson. So in this position, feel that you are able to squeeze this buttock, right? Okay? See that? So I tuck my pelvis this way. As I pull this up and I tuck, I'm going to feel my buttocks muscles here working. I'm going to feel a stretch here. You feel that? Okay, so this way, as I breathe out, I tuck. Okay, if you find it really hard, you can try taking your hand as you reach it forward. Think about tucking this. So you want to feel a stretch on the thigh, on your quads, right? Feel the glutes and your abdominals working. Okay? So the act of reaching, you see my shoulder blade, right? The act of me reaching my hands out and tucking this is going to help me, to encourage me to kind of like flex my spine and engage my abdominals. Okay? So it's important, right? So I'm going to try. Where's my timer? Okay, I got my trusty kitchen timer. We'll try this for about just about 30 seconds, right? Well, actually, okay, let's do it this way. So just do it a couple of times, maybe like 10 times, right? So this is important because a lot of us, when we stretch, we are like constantly doing this. You see how my back is arched and we don't really get a stretch. So I just need you to be in this position. Okay? Think about tucking this, and if you can't feel it, think about reaching that hand out and encourage you to tuck. Feel the glutes engage, feel the abdominals. Everybody got that? So try a few times. You should get a nice stretch on the quads. Okay? Just one more. Okay, now we're not going to change side yet. So from here, what you do next is this, right? You are going to tuck this, keep it tucked. Okay? Feel the stretch here, and then you're going to do a side, the lateral, flex sideways away. So imagine I'm still tucking this. I'm going to now reach my left hand out, right? And I'm going to think about trying to, imagine my back is up against the wall. I'm trying to reach my hand to the opposite side. So you don't want to rotate the body this way. So it's almost like if you look at the screen, if you imagine there's a mirror in front of you, I'm still square to the front. So my hands can be here. I'm just going to reach and get a nice stretch here, right? And then I'm going to come back and reach across. And get a nice stretch on the side, on the obliques, on the rib cage on the side. And again. 3, 2 more, 4, and 5. Got it? Okay? So we're going to switch over, we're going to do the left side, right? Or the right side. Okay, so remember, first, you're going to sit half the buttocks on the chair. You're going to allow the other leg to come out, right, this way. Right? So my knee is pointing down. And I'm going to do the pelvic tilt first, right? So just being here, learning how to tuck, and feeling the quads stretch, right? And my glutes engage. Again, if you don't feel like what I said earlier, it helps to think about reaching that hand forward to encourage you to tuck the pelvis. And you feel a stretch there in the quads. So you want to feel that you're able to access this move, right? You're able to tuck it and untuck. So you think about exhaling, breathing out as you tuck it this way. Let's try a few more. Okay, one more. Okay, from here, I'm going to place this hand down. I'm going to think about keeping it tucked, right? I'm going to reach my right hand up, keep my body square to the front. I'm going to reach sideways across, feel the opening on the side. I'm going to breathe in, right? And out. Let's do about 5 times. Okay, everybody okay? So you should feel a nice stretch there. So now you need to get it to stand up, right? Okay, you have to make sure the next move you want to make sure that the chair, you can place it against the something so it doesn't kind of slide forward, right? Okay, so we're going to do a forward lunge rotation, which many of us are familiar with. So I'm just going to place my hands here. So from here, I'm taking my right leg back. Okay, I'm pushing down into the ground. So I want the extension of my spine. This foot in front, the heel stays down. My back leg is extended like this. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is when you're here, you want to think about pushing the ground away, lengthening the spine. Okay, now once you're here, I'm going to take my left hand, palms facing. I thread it underneath my right. I'm going to palms facing front. I'm going to reach up towards the ceiling. So notice my arm is not bent. I straighten, I push away, and then look up. And then come back down, reach across. Push away. Think about creating space in your joints. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, we're going to change around the other side. So make sure the knee of the back leg straighten. So my spine is not flexed like this. I'm going to push into the ground. See, my neck is nice and long. And from here, 5 times. I'm going to trap my right hand underneath. As I reach across, palms facing front, push away. 1, 2, 3. You can also think about squeezing the opposite buttocks, right, as you reach up. 4, 5. And rest. How's that? So far so good? Okay, so the chair is also useful. We're gonna do lunges, right? So lunges, split stance ties very well in with all the first two movements that we did. So you can keep your chair close to you this way. Make sure it doesn't topple over. Or this way. Okay? You are going to step back, go down as far as you're comfortable, push down slightly and up. Okay, you're gonna alternate this left and right leg. Now, as you go down, I'm going to show you from the side, right? Think about extending the spine and reaching the leg back so it looks a bit like this. Okay, so you don't want to just go down like this. You have to think about trying to reach. So almost like I lean forward slightly. Alternate between the left and the right. Got it? So we're gonna time for this. Let's do this for 1 minute, alternating between the left and the right. Now you don't have to go right down to the bottom. If this is as far as you're comfortable without pain, okay, then this is how low we want to go. You don't have to be here. Okay, got it? Ready? 1 minute and go. Of course, if you feel comfortable, you can don't hold the chair and let your arms, right? Do this. Right hand forward, right leg goes back. Vice versa. Hold if you want. Okay, we're all different, right? So go at the level that you're comfortable with. And rest. Okay? So we're going to move on to the next sequence of exercise, but what you just did, the 3 exercises, can in itself be a little circuit that you do, right? So you can do like 5 times of this, 5 times of this, then 1 minute of lunges, repeat for 3 times, right? And that in itself is a very good little circuit to do, just to work on the rotation and the split stance. Good for your walking and your balance, right? Okay, next. My cat wants to be in the videos. Okay. We are going to work on everybody's favorite, right? The single leg squat. But we're going to kind of like break it apart, right? So, first thing we're going to do, we are going to stretch your hamstring. Okay? In this manner. So some of us will need a stool, some of us won't. So I'm sitting here. What I'm going to ask you to do is to prop your leg up, okay, on the stool. Now, what I want you to maintain is this position of your spine. If you find you prop your leg up and you straighten it, right, your spine goes into this, then what I'm going to ask you to do is to not use the stool and put your feet down like this. Okay? Now, and also, or if you can try, you can prop your leg up here, bend it slightly until the point that you're able to keep this, the spine, right, in this position and not be rounded, right? And all you're going to do is this, right? You're going to think about trying to get your belly button to touch your knee. Okay, it won't happen, but what that does when you think about getting your belly button to touch your knee, right, is it encourages you to lengthen your spine and go forward this way. So rather than like this, it encourages you to lengthen the spine, belly button to the knee. Okay? So you can put the hands at the side here for support, right? So I'm going to think about trying to do 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. On the 5th one, you're going to hold it there just for 5 breaths, right? So I'm going to hold here. And rest. Okay, I'm going to change to the other side. So, prop my right leg here. I'm going to straighten it. I'll keep it slightly bent. Make sure that I'm maintaining my position in my pelvis area, right? From here. Same thing, just 5 times. Make sure that I flex forward, belly button towards the knee. And 5th one, I'm going to hold there for just 5 breaths. And rest. Okay? So, the next stretch. What you're going to do, you're going to do stretch your hips, right? The piriformis, right? So, you can prop your leg up here. You're going to cross your leg like this first. Okay? So, I'm going to flex my left knee towards my chest. I'm going to let my right hand, grab hold of it. And you want that tall spine, right? So we're going to kind of drive this hand down. Let me show you from the side. So I'm driving this hand down. Same thing, right? Just going to try. Kind of like 1, 2, 3, 4. On the 5th one, I'm just going to hold 5. And relax. Okay, we'll switch over to the other side. Cross over, bring it in slightly, flex my knee, opposite hand holding, sit tall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and hold. And rest. Okay, you ready? So, we are going to do the single leg squat. We've done this before, right? And some of us struggle with it. So, I'm going to show you some regression. Okay? Or progression, depending on how you look at it. So, I'm going to stand up. I'm going to put my left leg slightly in front. Okay? So, I'm going to use this left leg as a kickstand. So it's not very far, it's just here, if you can see. So from here, I'm going to think about reaching my hands forward and pushing my bum back, right? See that? And I sit down. Okay? So focus on shifting my weight to my right leg, my entire right foot. Doesn't matter if this knee bends slightly. Okay? I'm going to reach forward, hinge from my hips, and up. See that? So, sit down, Now, we talked about this before, right? How do you know you are at the right height of the chair? It's when you're able to lower the last few inches with control. So you don't want to go control, or okay? So that's the indication that that height is too low for you. You can use the cushion or towel or books, prop it up. Feel that you can shift weight onto this leg, stand up. Okay? Of course, you can also come out this way, and then as you're going down, think about lifting it up. Come out this way. As you're going down, lift it up. Okay? Whichever way works for you. Or if you are quite comfortable with this move, you can lift up the leg all the way. Okay? We are going to try just 30 seconds for each leg. Okay? Ready? And we go. So remember what I say, it's just here. Reach forward. You shouldn't miss the chair. You can also come here, lift up. And rest. Okay? All good, everybody? Is that better for you? Now we'll try the other side, right? Okay, same thing, 30 seconds. Ready? And go. Is it better? Okay. So, okay, I talked too much today. Okay, but I'm going to show you one more, right? The butterfly stretch with this. I'm going to kind of tie it together with your squats in your shoulders. So, what I'm going to do is, again, you put your toes here. You're going to sit this way. We're going to do the butterfly stretch, right? Okay. So from here, I want to think about I'm able to, now don't sit too far on the edge of the chair, you may topple over. So make sure you sit further in. So from here, I'm going to think about trying to get my knees down and my belly button towards my foot. Okay, so thinking of getting belly button towards the foot helps to encourage me to extend my spine and not flex like this. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of put my hands here. And same thing, just 5 times, right? I'm just going to go. 1, 2, notice my back, it's not like this. 3, 4. On the 5th one, I'm going to hang out here, shoulders away from the ear, neck nice and long. Just 5 breaths. And rest. Okay? So, for some of us that's stiffer, right? You will find that this feels more doable. Right? You probably feel more successful with this. Okay, so you're going to stand up. We are going to do a what we call like a tabletop stretch, right? So again, make sure this is like sturdy enough, right? So what I need to do is to kind of put your hands this way. Okay? And I'm gonna kind of like think about pushing my hips back and press my chest down. My knees can slightly bend. Okay? In the downward dog, like almost so this is almost like a modified version of a downward dog, right? So I let my elbows point down. I think about extending my spine. So as I do this, I'm going to feel a nice stretch down here, maybe a hamstring. Last one. I'm gonna hold the fifth one. Out here, 5 breath. And slowly come back up. So just get a nice stretch down the back, right? So again, this is useful for people that find this really challenging. So, or you don't want to get down the floor. So this is a good sub, right? Okay? We're going to end off with a squat. So the chair is also useful to help us to get into a squat, right? For some of us, they find it's like very difficult to go down and come out, right? So you're going to hold the chair. Don't hold the higher end because it may top over. So you know how to do it. So your stance, right? Find a stance that is like, it doesn't have to be narrow, like it's whatever is comfortable for you. You can allow the knees to kind of point out slightly, your feet to point out slightly. So it doesn't have to be like straight like this, right? All of us will be a little bit different. So I think about is your upper body, right? Okay, so one of this very famous coach, Dan John, he talked about almost like as if you're carrying a sack of potatoes, right? And your upper body just kind of drops down in between your hips. See that? Think about the image of kind of letting hips sit down, right? I'm just going to kind of push down this way. It will be painful. Adjust the position of feet, right? As necessary. Okay, we're going to try that just for 30 seconds to end. Okay, ready? And we go. Some of us may be here, and that's fine. Okay, we work within what our body allows. You can do a tuck and tuck, right? Michael Jackson, remember? Engage the abdominals and the glutes. Keep going. Push up, 30 seconds. And we are done for today. How was that for everyone? Okay, so there are more things I want to go through with you, but I guess it's like all the explaining kind of like, so ran out of time, but I think it's good like just to focus on the details, right? So like I said, this is a very good alternative for people that find it a struggle to do the similar stretches on the ground. So this is a good like a access point for those of us that struggle with it. Okay, so they can be taken apart. Like I say, you can do the lunges, the hip flexor stretch, the rotation as a series and repeat 3 times, or you can do all the exercises together and you say you time yourself 20 minutes. And I'm going to do like 5 times each of each movement and then try and see how many rounds you can do in 20 minutes. Okay? So I hope this is useful for you. Let me know your feedback so that we can adjust accordingly. Okay? Because otherwise it's very hard. It's like me talking to myself and I'm not sure like whether what are you guys actually doing, or are you doing correctly. It's very hard for me to adjust. So for those of you who have been giving me your feedback, right, keep them coming. They're very useful for me to adjust the class. We're going to get out of this circuit breaker stronger, fitter, moving better. Okay, so thank you for joining me. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.